All right, that's a really nice win for the Los Angeles Clippers. A bounce back win. Is it a statement game for the Clippers? I guess we'll see. This is the Hoops Nerd post game show. After two really hard fought games in Utah, tonight the Los Angeles Clippers came out and had easily their best game of the series with just some incredible shooting from number one, Paul George, but some other guys on the team. But you've got to give credit tonight to Paul George, who finally came out and just had an explosive scoring night. Tonight, Paul George was 60% from three, 6 for 10, which is monster. He had 31 points, 50% from the field. He went 50% from the field and 60% from three. That's when you know you're having a good night, when you're shooting that level from three. He also had, Paul George also came out and had 5 assists, a steal, 3 rebounds. Just a monster night for Paul George. He was huge. Paul George is, one of those guys that, he's kind of the bellwether for the Clippers a little bit. If he plays really well, it makes it tough for Utah to beat the Clippers. They're just so talented from the wing. You're going to get solid stuff from Kawhi, but you've got these games where Paul George doesn't shows up, and when he does, they play really well. It is what it is. So for the Clippers, if you're a Clippers fan, you got to be happy with Paul George and what he did tonight. Nicholas Batum had a monster night and had the biggest plus minus for the Clippers. I mean, he was 6 for 9 from three, which is a very nice field goal percentage, 66%, 4 for 6 from three, 17 points and a plus 24. He was a huge difference for them. I can't remember if he started last game or not, but he was a big time contributor tonight. Marcus Morris continues to be kind of invisible in this series. The Jazz have kind of taken him out. He was 0 for 2 from 3. He played 21 minutes tonight, was 3 for 5, just 6 points. And Kawhi Leonard had pretty solid night, although the 3-point shot wasn't falling, but he was 58% from the field, which is really solid. Just 1 for 6 from 3, but he had 34 points, was a plus 15. He had a lot of deflections, and I know he only had 2 steals, but he had multiple plays where, Bojan Bogdanovic, he had that one play where Bojan drove to the rim. Kawhi taps the ball with those long arms and his massive hands. He had 12 rebounds tonight, by the way. But yeah, 2 steals doesn't tell the whole story. He just clogs those lanes, and Utah has to figure out better ways to attack the Clippers because tonight it wasn't it. It wasn't it. But you've got to give huge credit to Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Nicholas Batum, and there were some other guys. Let's see. Let me pull some things up. But also, the other guy that's just having a monster series so far, except for game 1 where he got in foul trouble from Donovan Mitchell taking it to him. But Reggie Jackson's efficiency has been insane. Reggie Jackson, I believe, only missed, he only missed 1 3 tonight. Reggie Jackson, sorry, I'm going through so many different screens. Reggie Jackson was 6 for 8 from the field, but he was 5 for 6 from 3. The quick math there for you is 83%. I mean, he could, well, not literally, but he couldn't miss. 5 for 6. And it's funny that one miss he did was this easy spot up 3, but he made every single other one, and a lot of them were defender in his face, pull up 3, buries them. DW 199, Jazz going all the way. Don't lose faith now. I personally have not lost faith, but if you're a Clippers fan, you've gained some faith. So I don't know what the faith measurement is here. Some up, down. It's like faith stocks. How's your faith going? But anyways, very, very much a nice night for the Los Angeles Clippers in terms of just pure efficiency. They've been fantastic, and you've just got to give them credit. They've just dominated. Let's see. Anyways, I'm just sorry, I'm pulling up the read. I forgot to pull it up. I've got to pull it up. You know what? You got to give a little bit of credit to Ivica Zubac. He played a good game. Terrence Mann had a plus 21. Terrence Mann was 2 for 5 from the field. He actually hit a 3. He's not, I don't know his exact percentages. Maybe I'll pull him up just to not be ignorant, but he was 1 for 2 from 3, 50%. I don't think he's really known for being just kind of a knockdown 3-point shooter. Let's just see, just out of curiosity. Let's learn about Terrence Mann. Uh, well, probably not the best live thing to do right now, but 35% in 2019-20. This season, though, 41% from three on 1.4 attempts per game. So there you go. Maybe he is a better three-point shooter. Makes you wonder why he hasn't been playing more, but he was a plus 21, and he's athletic. He's long. He moves around. Kind of reminds me of Miaoni a tiny bit. I actually believe he played for the Jazz in their system. Like, I think he actually played for the Stars. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm kind of sure. It's kind of like that faith scale. I don't have a ton of faith in my memory there, but I believe Terrence Mann was actually with the Jazz, went to the Clippers from the Jazz, from the Stars, I believe. I'm not totally sure. You can go Google that. Maybe tell me I'm wrong in the comments, as some of you like to do, but I believe that's where he comes from. So nice to see Terrence Mann like figuring it out. I just, as a Jazz fan, it that hurts my feelings, Terrence. Why are you out there trying to hurt my feelings? I don't understand. Luke Kennard, it's interesting. Luke Kennard is playing more in this series than, like, he just didn't play against the Mavericks. Against the Jazz, he 2 for 4 from the field, 2 for 4 from three, so he just took 3-point shots. That's all he took, and he was 50%, 6 points, plus 12. You know, it's interesting what Ty Lue is doing. He's trying to figure everything out. And, you know, the Clippers found out recently that they aren't going to have Serge Ibaka back. And so that's a tough loss for the Clippers. But it didn't matter in this game. If your wings are playing like they are, and Zubac and I guess Marcus Morris playing center, if you can figure that out, maybe you can be wrong. But yeah, I don't know. But anyways, if you're a Clippers fan, you've got to be happy and excited about Paul George getting his shot back, apparently, because he just didn't shoot it this well in the other games. He was around 20 points per game or something like that, give or take. Nice night for the Clippers. All right, guys, let's see. On a night when the Jazz lose, guess what? We all still win with Manscaped.com. And guess what? I actually wanted to show some things off with the partnership I have with Manscaped, which we still gotta do. Remember, HoopsNerd20 is the code, because our other code got sniped or something, or leaked. But guess what? There are tons of products from HoopsNerd. Let's read the read first, I guess, because I'm excited about a few things. But anyways, support for today's episode comes from Manscaped. Father's Day is just around the corner, and you probably need a gift for a hairy dad. Make your dad proud this year and get him yourself the Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0. Right here. Lawnmower 4.0. You know what they say, like father, like son. The brand new Lawnmower 4.0 and ultra smooth package is perfect for you and your dad in your life to complete your grooming center. Actually, I think I wasn't supposed to read this. Let's see. Maybe not. We'll see. I don't know. Okay. But anyways, get the Lawnmower 4.0 and ultra smooth is perfect for you and your dad in your life to complete your grooming game. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code HoopsNerd20 at manscaped.com. You know, instead of these talking points, I just wanted to show off. So the HoopsNerd or Manscaped, they sent me a new package of new things, and I'm really excited about them. Manscaped, they gave me this weed whacker. Go use code HoopsNerd20 and you can get this. You know what the weed whacker is? This thing trims your nose hairs and your ear hairs. I love this thing because guess what? I'm getting older and I have hair coming out of places that I didn't want. You turn this thing on. You hear that? It's amazing. Best I've ever sniffed. Stick it in your ear. Get the hair. It's great for hairy guys like me who can't grow it up here, but we can grow it out of here. It's great. You know what else they've got? Cologne. It smells really nice. It smells really great. Let's put this on. The Jazz lost. You're watching because you're a crazy person. So let's just enjoy our time. But look at this. It's called Refined Cologne, Manscaped. Is that clear? No, we need a better camera. 50 milliliters of it. Oh, I will be less disgusting to the missus tonight. She'll be like, wow, you haven't smelled this good since you were trying to impress me 15 years ago. So that's what she'll say. That's what we've got. And guess what? This is making me happier. I can't get this thing in the box. Kind of like the Jazz and their shooting. And then finally, there's a ultra smooth package that they sent me. This might be, they're selling out like hotcakes. So go check the site. They might be low on product, but there's all sorts of things you guys can get. I recommend all of them. the Manscaped Ultra Smooth package with replacement blades and crop exfoliator and crop gel. You can bet I'm going to use this because I'm hairier, and you know what? I've got hair that just is not as pleasant as you would like, and guess what? It doesn't matter because with manscaped.com, promo code HoopsNerd, you can get rid of that stuff. So go to manscaped.com and get rid of that stuff. I just wanted to show it off because it was cool. Thank you, Manscaped. All right, let's talk about the Utah Jazz. There's a few things that need to be said tonight. One, it's really hard to watch Donovan Mitchell with his ankle because he's playing through pain. So you first off just got to give tons of credit to Donovan Mitchell for being just an absolute beast, warrior, fighting through pain, playing through it like a stud. It's amazing. It's amazing. Donovan Mitchell, no one should ever question his toughness ever because this guy is out there putting his body on the line, putting his health on the line to win this series. That guy, it means more to him to win, just like it does to all of us. So all credit to Donovan Mitchell for what he's doing. He's being incredible out there. Donovan Mitchell tonight, 5 for 9 from 3. So with a pain in his ankle, he's shooting 55% from 3. He is 11 from 24 from the field. So that's something we'll mention a little bit, but he still shot 45% from the field. That's really solid. That's really solid. He had 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and 30 points. Would you have known that he's having, ankle issues if no one told you, if you just looked at the box score, you'd probably be like, wow, that guy's incredible. And he also powered through 32 minutes. 32 minutes he played on the floor tonight through pain. That guy is an absolute beast. Nothing else to say but respect for Donovan Mitchell. He's incredible. Much respect to Donovan Mitchell. That's what you got to do. You got to give him respect because he's just playing tough, and he's doing the things that all fans couldn't ask for more from Donovan Mitchell than what he's giving them. It's amazing. So Donovan Mitchell is just absolutely earning my even more respect than he already had. And my respect was already through the roof. So incredible stuff. The other thing is the Jazz just did not shoot the ball particularly well tonight in a lot of different ways. Although you look at the 3-point percentage, it was 43%. So you have Joe Ingles go 5 for 8 from 3, which is really a shame because you kind of have had 2 incredible shooting nights from Joe Ingles. You have Donovan Mitchell 5 for 9 from 3. Jordan Clarkson was actually 4 for 9 from 3, so that was really solid. And Royce O'Neal was 4 for 8 from 3. So you look at the 3-point shooting and you think, wow, that's great. The thing that was really rough was the defense. The Jazz just couldn't defend tonight. And some of that is shot making by the Clippers, and some of that is defense. I would say that this is a nuanced thing. I would say tonight was probably Rudy Gobert's worst game of the series easily. He just did not seem to be the same. When he was on the floor, it just felt like he wasn't quite as locked in. He wasn't guarding as well. Although some of that came from Royce O'Neal, who had 2 incredible game 1 and game 2 that was incredible. He was keeping guys in front of him. He was bothering shots. Royce O'Neal had a rough night tonight defending, and it seemed to affect Rudy Gobert too because they were driving to the rim, and it just felt like sometimes it just is weird with Rudy that it's like he contests some things and doesn't contest others. And maybe he's trying to stay on the floor and stay out of foul trouble and things like that. I don't know. But even Rudy Gobert on a night where I would call it an off night, he only played 29 minutes. And guess what? I know that they put in the bench guys at the end of the game. But even still, you're putting Rudy Gobert on pace for 32 minutes. It's a 48-minute game, guys. Why is Quin Snyder not playing Rudy Gobert more? It's driving me insane. It almost bit the Jazz last game. It almost came back and bit them because they were down by 2 late in the 4th quarter, and Rudy Gobert was on pace for the same old thing where it's 32 to 36 minutes. Why? Luckily, last game, Jordan Clarkson hit some monster threes, and you had Bojan Bogdanovic knock down some threes, and the Jazz got some stops at the end with Rudy Gobert. But on a night like tonight, where Rudy's just not quite himself, you would get burned by that, So the Jazz tonight really kind of squandered some big shooting nights. Really nice shooting nights. Boyan was 1 for 5 from three and only 2 for 10 from the field. That makes me a little worried about the ankle too, because we saw him turn his ankle, so he's obviously playing through something. Uh, but we wasted good shooting nights from Royce O'Neal, Joe Ingles, and Donovan Mitchell, and Jordan Clarkson from three. Jordan Clarkson struggled from the field. He was just 5 for 16. That will actually get better when Mike Conley plays because he'll actually play less minutes. That's one of the things that happens when Mike Conley plays. Jordan Clarkson tonight played 31 minutes. When Mike Conley comes back, Jordan's minutes will be between 20 and 25. And you'll see less shots from Jordan Clarkson, more threes. Or probably the same amount of threes, but less misses from the field. That right there is an example of one thing that gets better with Mike Conley on the floor, like immediately, is Jordan Clarkson's efficiency will go up. Jordan Crabtree, $5. Thank you, Jordan. I appreciate it. On a night the Jazz lost, we don't have as many viewers. People aren't as interested in a losing effort, but let's bounce back. I agree, Jordan, and I believe they will. Uh, but anyways, back to what I was saying. Rudy Gobert needs to play more than 29 minutes. Derrick Favors played almost 15 tonight. That's more minutes tonight than he's played, I think, in any game this playoffs. Well, maybe not. I could be wrong. But he was, again, just very ineffective. He was 1 for 1 from the field with 4 rebounds. He was better than he was last game. Last game, he was horrendous. He was a little better tonight, but he still just, it's like he's gotten worn out again. I don't know what else to say. It really feels like we've kind of used up the healthy Favors, and now that we have games every other night, it's tough. And I don't know, do the Jazz need to rest him at some point and put some Ersan Ilyasova in or something along those lines? But you know who might need to replace George Niang is Ersan, because George Niang had another rough night. That's 2 incredibly rough nights for George, and he hasn't really been shooting the ball well in this series. Uh, you know, badly. Ryan Rosella, I love George, but playoff Niang is real. Niang really let the team down. I agree. It's been rough to watch. It's been bad, guys. It's been not good. Uh, let's see. Uh, yeah. So George Niang doesn't play well. George Niang plays 10 minutes. Mie Oni plays 8. Uh, Mie Oni didn't hit. He was 0 for 2, but Mie Oni is out there for defense. We know that he can hit a 3. It's not as high a clip as George Niang, but George Niang is not bringing the defense that Mie Oni brings. And I know this season, people have been worried about George Niang leaving. Well, the way he played tonight is probably an example of why George Niang is going to be on the Jazz next year. He probably makes $4 to $6 million a year. I would guess around there, because I think, when he's playing really well, he's nice. But if you're paying more than that for George Niang, you're probably okay letting him walk, because this is what matters right now. Is what the Jazz are like. The playoffs are what matters the most. And if he's a guy that just kind of disappears in the playoffs, you can't give a guy like that $10 million a year when you're probably trying to give money to Mike Conley this offseason, because, by the way, Mike Conley's up for a new contract, and you need Mike Conley. And so, you know what? If George Niang walks, we'll see, but I'm guessing he's actually going to be on the Jazz, because I'm guessing he's probably going to make like $4 million a year or something like that, because he can shoot the 3. He hasn't been shooting the 3 in this series very well, and so that's troubling. But he can do it. Quinn obviously believes he can, because he keeps playing him. But 10 minutes tonight, 0 for 1. Let's see, 0 for 1. He did have 3 turnovers, though. George Niang's line tonight, 3 turnovers, 0 points, and 1 broken heart for me, James Hansen, the hoops nerd. So that's really tough. And by the way, I love George Niang. I really do. I think he can be really great. But right now, he's just not hitting shots. And maybe that's credit to the Clippers defense. So I'll probably have to watch that a little tighter and see what's going on with that. But it's just not falling. Mie Oni, on the other hand, 8 minutes, but he doesn't have any other stats that he's providing. Mie Oni's out there for defense. And you know what? On a night like tonight, when they couldn't stop anyone, you probably need to think about that. But you know what? People will say, well, who else is playing? Well, you know what? We've seen Ersan Ilyasova hit some shots, and it would be nice to see Ersan out there with Derrick Favors, maybe, because at least that's a little bit of size. Derrick Favors can't guard a lamppost right now, it feels like. He is just getting abused out there, and so, that's another thing that's frustrating with the Rudy Gobert minutes thing. And it's time to start talking about it a lot more. Quin Snyder has been playing Rudy Gobert 32 minutes a game, 32 to 36 every one of these games. And he's sitting him with foul trouble in game 1 against the Grizzlies. He played 24. And you guys can go watch that video. You can get my thoughts on that. I was not pleased. But guess what? One of the things with not playing Rudy 40 means that you're playing Favors more. And we know that Derrick Favors has lingering health things. He has chronic health issues, back stuff, knee stuff, all that type of stuff. And guess what? When you're playing him 15 minutes, guess what? It adds up because he is giving it 100%. And so you've got to give Favors credit. Like, he is playing hard. And this is not to like rag on Derrick Favors or anything like that, because when Favors is right, he's really good. But Derrick Favors is obviously ailing now all of a sudden. And you know what? I wonder if you played Rudy Gobert 36 to 40 minutes per night, would that have made Derrick Favors last a little longer? So in those precious minutes, those 8 minutes, because I would like Rudy Gobert to be playing 40 minutes a night. That's what I want in the playoffs. This is it. What are we waiting for? You're not resting guys for anything else. This is it. There's no more. And if you lose this series, you're done. So if you play Rudy Gobert 40 minutes per night, maybe those 8 minutes from Derrick Favors can be a little bit better. Just a little bit better, where he can just go 100%. But we won't know now. We won't know. So it's tough. And I just don't know when Favors is going to be right again, because this is what we saw during the season. Over time, he just wears down. And now it is what it is. It is what it is. Maybe it's unpreventable. Maybe this is me being unfair. But guess what? Our rotations are the same every single game. Exactly the same. With maybe a few adjustments based off of who's out tonight, or out that night. Mike Conley doesn't play, so Niang sees the floor. But guess what? When Mike Conley comes back, you can bet, I would bet absolute money that George Niang is going to be playing next game. Mike Conley, my guess, is playing in game 4. That's my guess. Otherwise, why would he have flown with the team? I guess it's possible that he flew with the team to support them and be with the team and everything. But my guess is part of that is that if he's flying with the team, he's going to play. But guess what? Mike Conley is going to play next game. If Mike Conley plays next game, I'm not going to say he is, but if he plays next game, Niang's not seeing the floor. George Niang is coming out, hands down. Quin just plays who he plays. He doesn't adjust, in terms of rotations. You can just count on it. And I like George Niang. I think George Niang really brings a lot. And I'm probably being way hard on him because he did have a nice alley-oop to Rudy Gobert, I remember. That was nice. Let's see. George Niang had 2 assists. He does move the ball. And I think he gets a little bit of bad rap because we're used to it from last year. But we're also used to George Niang playing much better during the season. He has not played well this series. He just hasn't. But he does make nice passes. He does move the ball within the offense, which maybe that's why Quin likes it. But he also shoots 40-something% from 3. At least he did during the regular season. He's in a slump right now, and it's tough. But you can just bet he's going to be in next game. Just expect it. Just expect Rudy Gobert to play 36 minutes or less. I don't know why Quin does that, but he does. And I don't understand. I don't get it. If the Jazz want to win this series, I feel like they need to play Rudy Gobert 40 minutes, or more. You know what drives me nuts is last game, Paul George played 43. He played 43. And I'm going to, guess what, guys? With the 84 watching right now, you guys are the real ones. You guys are here, and we're going to be 100 tonight. We're just going to be speaking the truth. And I think, so I have an article I got to write for SLC Dunk, and I'm going to write about this. I'm just going to say it. But guess what? We're looking at the same thing we saw last year with Denver. Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell playing 36 minutes a night. Meanwhile, hey, Christian, welcome to the channel. Meanwhile, last year, Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic were playing like 42, 43 minutes. Guess what? Those were close games, some of those. And do you think 7 minutes of Rudy Gobert could make a difference? I know he's probably a little bit more tired in those minutes, but this is it. And that was part of why the Jazz lost that series. It just was. Rudy Gobert is one of the best players in the NBA. He's a top 15 player. 36 minutes in the playoffs is not enough. 29 certainly is not enough. And he was on pace. At halftime, he had 15 minutes and 55 seconds. I'm an insane person. I was looking at it. But also, it's because Quin Snyder drives me insane. 15 minutes and 55 seconds at halftime. That means whether the Jazz had the bench clear or not, he was on pace for 32 minutes in a playoff game. This is the playoffs. This is it. You lose this, you're out. You're out. Why? Obviously, Donovan Mitchell, I think 32 minutes is plenty for Donovan Mitchell with the ankle. Obviously. But Rudy Gobert is not injured. He is not. He's not. Why is he playing 32 minutes to 36? Why? This is not Thursday, game 48 of the regular season. This is game 3 of the playoffs. Game 3. Play your best players more. This guy's playing like 42 minutes a night for the Clippers. Paul George. He's one of their best guys, and they didn't want to go down 0-3. You know, and all their starters outplayed ours because they cleared their bench too. So, tonight, Rudy Gobert plays 29 minutes. Joe Ingles, 28, which is probably fine. You don't want to play Joe too much. Donovan Mitchell played 32 on that bum ankle, which, you know, he would have brought... Guess who played 37 and 37 tonight? Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. So, you can do the math. Rudy Gobert played... Let's see, I'm just doing the math on top of my head here. Rudy Gobert played 8 minutes less than Kawhi Leonard. Rudy Gobert played 8 minutes less than Paul George. Why? 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 In the comments, let me know why. Why? There should not be a minutes discrepancy like that. There should not. There should not. Those 8 minutes are, by the way, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George's favorite minutes. That's their favorite. They love those minutes. Those non-Rudy Gobert minutes, they attack like viciously. They attack the rim with just pure venom and they just love it. Why are you giving that to them? Why? Rudy Gobert should be mirroring Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. He should. If you disagree, you're wrong. So, you know what? You got to tip your cap to Ty Lue. He's just like playing his best guys, and that's what you do in the playoffs. Sorry, that's what you do. Play your best guys. Story of the series. But they get more minutes with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, their best guys. We get less minutes of Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert did not have a good night tonight, and he needs to stop complaining. He needs to stop flopping. He needs to stop laying up when he should dunk it. Big Mickey, welcome to the channel. Dennis, welcome to the channel. He needs to stop doing those things because it's frustrating. But at the same time, you know what? He's Rudy Gobert, and he's the defensive player of the year. He's an absolutely game-changing player. He just is. Anyone who disagrees, you're wrong. He's a top 15 player easily. And there are certain metrics that you could argue he's top 10. For sure. For sure. There's a reason the Jazz had the best record in the NBA. And he's a big reason why. But if he's not on the floor, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. If he's not on the floor, you can have Quin Snyder have the most intricate system, a system that creates ball movement and open shots and all these things, and that's great. But if your best players are not on the floor, it negates it. If Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are both on the floor 8 minutes longer than Rudy Gobert, it negates what he does. The Jazz had a top 10 defense this year, top 5 for most of it. Rudy Gobert had like the biggest net rating of like anyone. He's had one of the best seasons ever. Play him. That's it. Play him. Play him. And play other guys less. Maybe try something out. I see online people like ragging on Ty Lue because he's trying all sorts of different things. Well, you know what would be nice? If our coach tried some different things. You know? If a player's not playing well, play someone else. It's not like there's not options. You got guys. You do. You can go play Ersan instead of George Niang. You can go play Mieoni instead of George Niang. You've got options. All right? You do. Stop this. Stop this nonsense. All right? Stop this nonsense, guys. And if you haven't bought a Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0 or nose trimmer or boxers or cologne or all the things that they bring that are amazing, stop that. Hoops Nerd 20 is the promo code. It's down there in the description. Go use it. Guys, it's time to talk to our All-Stars who have been incredible this season and these playoffs. It's a more somber tone for Jazz fans. It's a happy tone for the Clippers fans. Let's give a shout out to our All-Stars. Oh, and by the way, someone gave a great, I can't remember, was it Robert Hall, I think? I can't remember. Gave a great nickname for Anton, our newest All-Star. Guess what, Anton? And one, Anton Warren, baby, playing through the buckets. X marks the spot for Zintas. The X Factor. Ezekiel Raisibi, my man from down under. JT Buckets, Wardell, Austin R. Grant. Editor extraordinaire, Eric C. Sands for champion. Kelsey Hamer, the hammer. Donald Schooley, schooling all of us. Cody Strickland, strictly the best. Super Mitt Robach. DW to CB, Darren Williams to Carlos Boozer, Jorge Arrizaga, mi amigo de abajo, Lee Christensen driving the lane, Ryan Perry, the legend, Justin Time, Justin Ty H, Patrick Akubo, my buddy, Robert Hall, the Twitter GIF serial giver, and DW, Jazz going all the way. I still believe. Yes, I do. I agree. Just hope Spida is 100% from Jorge. I agree. We will win in 7. Will be epic. We shall see. But let's play our guys more, right? Let's play them more. Ezekiel, it doesn't matter as long as we win. I agree. Austin R. Grant, I had a feeling we'd lose this one, but I still feel like we're in control of the series. Don't overreact. Go Jazz. I agree as well. You have a ailing Donovan Mitchell, no Mike Conley, really monster night. I mean, maybe he'll shoot 83% the entire series. Reggie Jackson will. Maybe. I assume he probably won't, but he's at a monster series. He's still going to shoot the ball really well. Jazz got to figure out how to guard him. And, Batum had a monster night. 4 for 6 from 3, 6 for 9 from the field. That's very nice numbers for him. Anyways, guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. If you want to join the chat and receive all the perks for being a member, hit the join button down there. It's a lot of fun. I would appreciate it. You support the channel and you get some perks and it's really nice. And it's a thing we do. But anyways, that's all I got to say tonight. Now I'm just rambling. I'm just going off. I was a little annoyed. I want to talk about that minutes thing because it's driving me insane. It's driving me insane. And we're seeing the same thing this season as we did last season. And please no, Quinn. No, don't do this to me again. My pathetic life cannot handle this, having the Jazz lose because we didn't play Rudy Gobert enough. No, he's a Supermax player. Play him. He's tough. He deserves it. He should be out there. He's the best. He just is. Anyways, guys, like and subscribe. Join the channel. You guys are incredible. Thank you for all the members. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for being a member of the channel and all you do. I appreciate it. You guys are amazing. I will talk to you next time.